Welcome to Reread. Let's get into the classic Star Wars comic strips that were later turned into comic books that were collected in trade paperbacks such as this. I'm just going to go through 1 through 10. I think what is 10? I'll be honest, I may come up a little short, 1 or 2 issues short. I didn't want to go over, so I stayed about where I thought 10 ended and the other one began. The trades I have are not very specific on where one comic book begins and the next one ends. So I did some guesswork here, but I got pretty close. It starts off with Princess Leia and Luke looking for a new home for the Rebel base. This kind of plays into the Marvel comic books where Luke went on a mission by himself and Princess Leia was upset. I should be there with him, she said. Well, now she gets to go with him. So even though there's no retcon here, it does make sense if you look at these two stories back to back. Now, of course, they get pursued and caught by Imperials. Han Solo comes to the rescue because there's only 4 rebels. The 4 of them, Han, Chewie, Luke, and Leia. That's it for the Rebel Alliance right now in these stories. They go to Ord Mantell. This is the famous bounty hunter score. This is the first instance of an assault by a bounty hunter on Ord Mantell that Han references in Empire Strikes Back. Meanwhile, Vader is working on another project. The Executor, the Super Star Destroyer, is starting to work on. I'm not sure if this happens before or after Vader's quest. I'm saying before Vader's quest, but I'm interested to see if Vader's quest was the Executor being worked on at the time. I can't remember. Or Executor. I keep saying Executor. Executor. What am I thinking there? While Luke is pining away at Leia and being all jelly over Han spending more time with her than he is, Admiral Kriff of the Imperial Army, Navy, he seems that he is a traitor and he is going to give Luke access to Darth Vader's pet project, hopefully have Luke sabotage it. Now, Admiral Kriff, in a way, is legitimate. He wants Luke to come over and sabotage this ship, but also he's working for Darth Vader. Darth Vader set him up to it, not only to catch a rebel traitor, but basically to find out who within the Army or Navy is disloyal to Darth Vader, which makes sense after being, you know, basically enrolled since the Clone Wars. A lot of these people have held grudges against the Empire that they won't be let go and they're still serving it. Or maybe they love the Empire at first, but they see it's evil now. Well, who among us are disgruntled and would, you know, betray, you know, mutiny, you should say, against Darth Vader? So this is all one big giant trap set by Darth Vader to capture the rogue admirals. But of course, Luke will get away with the help of a Imperial contractor. I don't think she's an Imperial, but Tanith. And Tanith basically helps him escape, but sabotages the ship on purpose so that Luke crashes again on a planet for the 5th time. And she belongs secretly to a group of star wreckers. They wreck ships and salvage them and repair them. But she wrecked this one a little too hard, or Luke crashed it a little too hard for it to become salvageable. She and her father are imprisoned. They're basically held captive by this group of pirates. And of course, Luke is going to have to be the one to, you know, save the day for them. There is a funny scene where it flashes. There is a funny scene where they do a meanwhile with Han and Leia forces him to go on a mission. He goes, "Honey, I don't care about, you know, going on the mission," but he says, here it is, "But first, you're going to learn what you're missing." And he kisses her. "Yeah, you got to learn what you're missing, woman." I thought that was kind of funny. Now, when Luke crashes on this planet, or is sabotaged the ship, whatever, there are these serpent riders. They're these like lizards, these big long snake dragons with wings. I don't know how they fly. Luke tries to ride one, he can't, and he realizes that after he saves the droids get separated and captured, so he saves the droids first. They find out there's a medallion that basically controls the serpent creatures, and, you know, Luke has to attack the leader, take out the medallion. But as he slices the necklace and the medallion goes over the balcony or whatnot, the leader tries to go for it and he falls to his death. And Luke's like, "Gosh, I didn't want that to happen." Well, you kind of chucked it and threw it over the, you know, balcony. So what was he supposed to do? No. So he dies. Tanith is saved. She is in love with Luke, but kind of frustrated because Luke is hung up on the princess. So, and Luke likes Tanith too. This is kind of his first love interest that we hear about. The first one of a couple, you'd be surprised. Luke had some game too. Now, right after that adventure, Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie, because again, that's the Rebel Alliance right there in Millennium Falcon, they get pulled into a dwarf star that's collapsing on itself, and a bunch of, it's like these rings of junk around it, and the Millennium Falcon's stuck in there. And they find out that there's an old scientist, one of the Empire's greatest minds, you know, Dr. Arrakis, and he's the one that's just basically wanting to destroy. His career has been ruined since the Death Star exploded. I guess he was one of the many people who had a hand in that, and so he's just going to kill himself. And hey, that he gets to kill a few rebels, even better. And so Han and Luke have to come up with a way to escape. And Han does come up with a way. He says, there's no way to escape. And Luke goes, I don't think this will work, Han. And Han says, who are you going to trust? One of the greatest Imperial scientists, minds of the Empire, or me? And Han ends up to be correct, and they do get away. Meanwhile, the Empire is sending little probing scouting missions, scouting runs of the TIE fighters, just to test and see what's going on at the Rebel base. So they're not ready to fight them yet, but they're just testing out their defenses. Remember, they're short on pilots, which they're trying to get back up, and they're short on vehicles, which will be addressed later on. But that doesn't worry the 4-member Rebel Alliance as they go on another mission to a water planet to find Leia's meeting with a new ally to the Republic called Silver Fry, who Han knows is a pirate and doesn't trust at all. And she's going to betray us, I know it. I'm just going to stop right there, even though it may go a few issues longer, and just say this. These are fun. Artwork's decent. It reads a lot more smoother. Like I said, I have the comic books, and I would have loved to have seen them in comic strip form, even though it's kind of, it'd be kind of linear, black and white. But can you imagine reading this daily in your newspaper and just getting this adventure piece by piece? That's wild to think about. There's no more, newspapers themselves have kind of gone the way of the dinosaur, but newspaper strips. I remember there's a Spider-Man strip at my grandmother's newspaper, and I used to read that all the time, but then I had to leave. So after that week, I just, unless that storyline wrapped, I wouldn't find out what happened to Spider-Man. But Star Wars fans got to do that, and I just think that's cool. It's just a whole old, now basically outdated era of telling a story. And it's too bad, because these by Russ Manning are very, very good. All right, folks, that's all for now. See you next time.